What's going on, y'all? This is your boy Kev Rocco, and welcome to TBH. TBH is To Be Honest podcast. This is the very first episode of my show. So I really hope you enjoy. So I'm going to explain to you. I wrote it down in the description what it's about. I'm going to explain to you about different varieties of stuff. Some are positive, some are negative, and I'm gonna just keep it a buck of how I feel in my opinion. Now, if you guys do not like what you hear, you can log off and go to somebody else's channel. But I'm just being brutally honest. And I know probably a lot of you probably will agree or disagree, but what is the name of the show? It's called To Be Honest, TBH. So with that being said, I just want to get on top of a topic real quick. And I've been experiencing this for a while. Well, I've been experiencing this for years, but I just feel like I have to get it off my chest. And it's about us, black folks. You know what I mean? Black people do not get along. We all need to stand together. You know what I mean? But we don't. You know what I mean? Every time we walk down the street, we mean mug each other. Don't say what up. Just look at each other, mean mug each other. And then sometimes it pops off like, oh, you got a fucking problem. You know what I mean? And all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you got a problem? No, you got a problem, nigga. Let's do this, nigga. And we just keep calling each other's niggas. You know what I mean? That word is for, I know we don't put the hard R at the end, but that word is really for the white people who slaved us back in the day. And nigga means ignorant. Or worse than that. You know what I mean? Some of us call each other coons, which we shouldn't be doing. We should be sticking by each other's side, but we don't. You know what I mean? And what's even worse is what's just as bad is our families. You know what I mean? Black families. You know what I mean? A lot of them don't stick together. They don't. You know what I mean? They don't love one another. You know what I mean? I can speak from that experience because I have a sister and she doesn't love me. You know what I mean? She loved me when I was a child, but when I got older, she just started hating my guts. My mother, I was abused a lot, you know what I mean, and everything else. And my mom, I felt like my mom had a kick out of beating the shit out of me as a kid. But, I know that's deep and all, but it's true. But other families, you know what I mean, and like black families, they ask you for money, never pay you back. You know what I mean? Threaten. You know what I mean? And not even just family. You know what I mean? It's just friends too. Well, so-called friends. People will turn on you in an instant, bro. And then, oh my God, the black women. You know what I mean? The black women are just as bad, bro. To be honest. I'm sorry, black ladies. I'm sorry, ladies, but I'm not sorry. It's the truth. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all want a nigga for their money. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all want a nigga for their money. If they don't got no money, don't talk to me. You ain't got this, you ain't got that, don't talk to me. Y'all, a lot of y'all are ratchet. You know what I mean? Full of drama. You know what I mean? And honestly, that's unacceptable. To be honest, that's very unacceptable. You know what I mean? Why can't we be treated like we're humans? Like we're you know what I mean? We're getting treated like pieces of shit, to be honest, by these black women. To be honest, and some of y'all white women do it too. I'm not gonna only just put the black women in the categories, but don't get it twisted. There's some good black women out there. They're just very hard to find, or they're married to somebody who's fucked up and cheating on them and everything else. And I'm not gonna lie, dudes make it, and there's certain dudes that make it worse for us, to be honest. There's dudes that make it worse for us. You know what I mean? And I feel like, you know what I mean? Like there's a girl, like, for instance, there's a woman, a black woman, and she's like kind-hearted, everything, just wonderful and willing to give any good man a chance. So the guy walks up to the woman, hey baby, you look good, playing the good role, you know what I mean? And then he plays the good role for a while. They get together, he still plays the good role for a while, and then the next thing you know, he sees lust, a girl with a fat ass, another girl with a fat ass, then he goes and fuck around and cheat on her, and you know what I mean? And he just, you know, he doesn't want to tell her the truth, you know, and just leaving her in the dark. And she finds out, and he's looking stupid. And then now her head is all fucked up. Now she dumps him, or whatever the case might be, and her head is all fucked up. Now she got trust issues with the next nigga that gets in her life. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, you know, like, it messes it up for us good dudes that really need love. But these women don't trust us anymore. You know what I mean? And there's some just straight up ratchet girls, bro, who just want money and nothing else. Just want money and that's it. You know what I mean? They don't care about looks anymore. It's just about money, 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 money. What happened to getting a job? You know what I mean? What happened to, you know what I mean, doing regular shit? You know what I mean? What happened was, you know what I mean? Some women just, you know, sell their bodies or whatever, and they feel like they have no other options. You know what I mean? There's a lot of opportunities. Women, I feel like women have more opportunities than men, to be honest. Even if it does come to selling your body, us men cannot be gigolos. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, you know what I mean? Like I said before, us black people, I'm going back to, you know, us black people sticking together. You know what I mean? And you don't really see much of that. And white people be like, damn, these niggas always killing each other and shit like that. I was having a conversation with one white guy, and he was like, yeah, y'all black people always killing each other and this and that and the other, and y'all never get along. I said, yeah, y'all white people, you know, y'all, you know what I mean, y'all treat each other good, you know, make sure that, you know, that y'all, you know, have love and respect for each other, and we can't even do that. You know what I mean? We cannot, us black people cannot be civilized people. You know what I mean? We can't love one another. We hate, it's all of that. And I feel like we show white people more respect than we show each other. And that's very sad. That is very sad. Because, you know what I mean? Like, but we should, it's not even that though. When you think about it, we should be showing respect, period, to everybody. Everybody should have respect equally. You know what I mean? It shouldn't matter what color you are, or, you know what I mean, or anything like that. What kind of disabilities you have. Everybody deserves respect. If the only time a person doesn't deserve respect is if they don't respect you. You know what I mean? So, and speaking of respect, bro, black women don't respect us black men. They do not. I'm sorry, ladies, but y'all don't. Y'all don't respect us anymore. You know what I mean? Like, an average nigga like me, or an average nigga like somebody else, like, you know what I mean? Yes, I said the word nigga. You know what I mean? But an average dude, let's put it that way. An average dude like me, or an average dude that works a 9 to 5 every day, doesn't get the kind of love and respect that we should have. People like Kevin Hart or LeBron James, or I'm just coming up with, you know, all the black, you know what I mean? Kevin Hart, LeBron James, who else can I say? Trey Songz, or Lloyd or whoever, 50 Cent. Those are the kind of people that could have the love and affection that we should have, but we don't get it because we're not rich. We don't have money. We only work a 9 to 5. I mean, we have money, but we don't have money like the famous people. You know what I mean? So we work a 9 to 5. We do our regular job, but it's not good enough. And then we want to go and take a girl out to, let's say, what was that other one? Which he tried to take his girl out. There's this one guy that tried to take his girl out to TGI Fridays, and she's like, "Nigga, I don't want to go here. What are you taking me to TGI Fridays for?" She wanted to go to a fucking restaurant that you can't even pronounce the name of. You know what I mean? So black women are never satisfied, bro. And that's why a lot of us guys are going overseas. A lot of us are going overseas. And the thing about that is I have a Thai girl that I'm talking to overseas, and me and her have been talking for 8 months now, and that's the longest I've ever talked to a woman. Because a lot of these American women, when I try to talk to them, bro, they lose interest. Black, white, it doesn't matter what you are, Latina. Once a woman, and then even women from other countries, when they come over here to the United States, oh boy, they change up real quick. They act just like the American girls. The tradition, everything is gone. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, go overseas. I'm just gonna give y'all advice. Go overseas, find your woman, and you'll be happier. If you go on YouTube, you'll see all these videos of men overseas, especially in Thailand. You know what I mean? Because that's what the girl I'm talking to is. She's Thai. And if you go to a guy called Richie Mack, if you listen to him, he'll tell you everything you need to know about Thailand. And he's the one that motivated me to go up there. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was thinking about Colombia, and I was thinking about Brazil, and I was thinking about all them other Latin countries, Puerto Rico. I was thinking about, you know what I mean? I was thinking about Puerto Rico, even though Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. But I was thinking about that too. DR and all of that. But I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm just like, it's very like, it's just back to American women, but it's just very sad how we are treated, and especially, you know what I mean, from our own race of black women. Now, back in the 70s and the 60s and stuff like that, that's when black women were pretty much more respectful. In the 80s and 90s and stuff is when they just started acting funny. All the way down till now, to this generation, excuse me. Had to yawn real quick. But till this generation, black women now treat us like dirt. And they treat the white men as superior. Let's be real. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. Black women treat white men as their superior. They treat them way better than they treat us. We niggas to them, but with white people, what? Come on. So with that being said, like I said, I'm keeping it honest on here. Black women, if you don't like it, I'm sorry, but it's very true. You know what I mean? I had a girl stay with me. It was one of my friends. I know it sounds weird, but it was one of my friends' ex-girlfriends or whatever. And he had her stay with me for some particular reason. And she was just telling me that, oh, I only like white guys. I don't like black guys, this and that and the other. And I was thinking, sorry again, guys. I was just thinking, yo, why do I have this bitch in my house? Like, You a racist black bitch. She was like, only person that I like is Big Sean. Only person, she was weird. Only person that I like is Big Sean. That's the only black person that I would date. That's what she said. I was just looking at her like she had fucking 15 heads, bro. The fuck? If you don't like black people, you just don't like black people. But don't say you don't date black people, but you'll date Big Sean. He's black too. Idiot. But anyway, yeah, but like I said, like with everything that's going on in the United States, it's fucking insane. You know, this LGBTQ stuff and all of that. I mean, I'm not gonna knock you for being gay or whatever the case might be, but you know what I mean? I feel like LGBTQ shit is getting out of control because they're putting it in all TV shows. They're putting it in kid shows. You know what I mean? Which kids shouldn't even be watching this. And they're telling kids it's okay to be gay. You know, it's really not. If you know what I mean? And that's insane. That's insane. You feel what I'm saying? So, what you got, SpongeBob and shit like that, you know what I mean? I think they have a adult version of SpongeBob, which kids should not be watching. You know what I mean? So it's like some gay shit in there between SpongeBob and Patrick and all of that. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've met a lot of cool gay people. You feel what I'm saying? I have nothing against y'all. But these writers and stuff like that are taking it out of control with the gay moments and all of that. You know what I mean? I have a favorite show called The Chi, and I'm sure that a lot of us black people watch that show. So they had, you know, Trig, the guy named Trig. No spoil. I'm not trying to spoil nothing, but they have a guy named Trig, and he's dating trannies and shit, bro. Like, come on, that's just ridiculous. You feel what I'm saying? But other than that, you know what I mean? Like, they had one in Black Lightning. You feel me? The show Black Lightning. They had a lesbian scene in there. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, like, okay, that's cool, but you know what I mean? Like, every show that I watch has a gay scene in it, and it's like, why are y'all supporting it so much? Why? You feel what I'm saying? And sorry about the noise in the background. That's my brother screaming on the phone while I'm trying to, you know, do this podcast. So, yeah, but other than that, bro, like, people, you know, we need to really get along with each other. You know what I mean? And stop killing one another, because it's already worse that cops are doing it to us too. That's another thing. Cops are killing us from left to right, you know, slamming us on the ground, tasing us for no reason, wearing handcuffs, they're beating the shit out of us, they're choking us to death, they're putting in their knees on our necks, and all this other stuff, and you know what I mean? And then they wonder why black people went to riot. Do y'all understand? You know, so it's like, I don't know. Us niggas need to get along and stop fucking around, to be honest. The mean mugging and all that need to stop. Just walk past each other and say what up. A few simple words. 2 words. What up? How you doing? You don't even have to say all that. Just say what up. Don't just stare at a nigga. Just don't stare a nigga's soul out. You know, you feel what I'm saying, y'all? So, with that being said, the next topic I was going to talk to y'all about was traveling. Like I mentioned earlier. You know what I mean? Now, going overseas, I've been once, okay? So I'm no expert, but I've been overseas once, and that's to Thailand. Beautiful, beautiful place to be. I'm about to take my second trip August 1st to go see my lady. And Thailand is like when you get off that plane, or when you just even flying over the water, or whatever the case might be, Thailand is the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my life, to be honest. When you step off that plane, the atmosphere, the beautiful women, the beautiful people, period. You know what I mean? When you step off that plane, it's no drama. You know what I mean? There's no drama there. You don't feel no racism. You don't feel nothing when you're out there. You know, for y'all passport bros that travel overseas all the time, I definitely commend you, because that is the way to be. Travel, have fun, enjoy your life, find a beautiful woman that's going to stick by your side for years and years and years to come. And to be honest, back to America, the people in America get way more divorces than the people out overseas. The people overseas really don't get divorces like that because it's illegal. And I wish America could be the same way. You have to stick with that same person. I mean, unless that person cheats on you or whatever the case might be. But you know what I mean? America's divorces are, they marry you, they have kids with you, then they decide they're fucking bored of you, so they want to get a divorce and take everything that you have, along with the kids, the dog, the house, the car, all of that, and leave you with nothing. Especially football players, basketball players, celebrities, like celebrities, like acting celebrities and stuff like that. This is why, I'm not saying all American girls do this, but I say the majority of them do. Like y'all heard about that football player, what's his name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. He signed a I don't know how much the contract was. It was something in the millions, but he signed that contract, and then he married this girl with no prenup. Now, how dumb is that? So she's waiting for the right chance to divorce him and take all his money till he has nothing. Tell you, some of us black folks make the dumbest decisions. But you know what I mean? Hey, dumb decisions cannot be stopped. You know what I mean? And sooner or later, he's gonna find out that it's a mistake. Just saying. But enough of that. Back to what I was saying about Thailand. I know I'm back and forth and wishy-washy and all of that. I'm back. Thailand is a beautiful place. I'm sorry if the mic cut out. I kind of hit the wire. The wire has a short in it, so I'm sorry about that. But anyway, the thing about Thailand is the food is different. Even when you go to McDonald's or Burger King out there, it tastes different, to be honest. It don't taste the same. Oh God. Oh, fuck, I keep yawning, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I was up till like 5 o'clock last night and couldn't sleep, sleep apnea. But anyway, the food out there tastes different. There's this fried noodles that I had out there. It was fried noodles, but not actually hard fried. Like it wasn't hard noodles, but it was like a noodles with some kind of pork and chicken in it. It was so good. And it had like string beans and some kind of other vegetables in it. I was like, this stuff tastes like amazing. It didn't even make me sick. You know what I mean? And I'm diabetic, and and stuff like that. So it didn't even make me sick. It wasn't starchy or none of that. It was chef's kiss. Let's put it that way. It was beautiful. It was delicious. And I'm planning on going back there and having some more of Thai food. I've been out there for a week before, so I'm about to go in August for another week and have more fun out there. I did not really get to explore, you know, when I went out there, because my dumb ass didn't go up there with a lot of money, and I regretted it instantly. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So you guys travel, even go to, but when you go to countries like Colombia, and you go to countries like Brazil or any other Latin countries, make sure you bring a friend with you. Make sure that you bring somebody with you, because they will try to rob you. Trust me, I did my research on YouTube. They will try to rob you. That's something you don't want. They're not going to just rob you. They're going to shoot you too in the process and kill you. So make sure that y'all are very, very safe about what y'all do when y'all go overseas. Thailand, you don't have to really worry too much about that, because when I was in Thailand, I really didn't have to look over my shoulder to see who was behind me or any of that stuff. You know what I mean? And I think Thailand only has a 5% crime rate. America, I would say like maybe a 100% crime rate in America, or maybe more than that. You know what I mean? But out there in Thailand, you feel safe, you feel secure, you feel relaxed, your mind is free. You're far away from America, which is the Matrix. You're far away from the Matrix. You know what I mean? And just trust me. Get y'all passport. Go overseas, man or women. It doesn't matter. Go overseas, and I'm telling you, you're gonna enjoy yourself. And I'm going back, and I can't wait. But what I'm really nervous about is with all these planes crashing and shit. You know what I mean? Planes haven't crashed since the not even the early 2000s, since the 90s. Now all of a sudden we're getting plane crashes, but people are trying to blame it on Donald Trump. I don't believe that shit. What does Donald Trump have to do with the planes crashing? He's not the ones putting bombs in the planes or whatever the fuck they're doing to it. He's not the one that's going over there giving planes technical difficulties. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to stand up for Donald Trump. I'm not a Trump supporter or whatever the case might be. I'm just saying that what does he have to do with the planes going down? It's the mechanics who work on the planes. It's their fault. You know what I mean? And I don't know if they go just work on the planes and then they don't get these planes inspected or whatever the case might be. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm scared of planes, but I'm not gonna fly with fear, to be honest. I'm not gonna really fly with fear. I'm just gonna go out there and I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? I paid for my ticket, so I'm gonna go out there and just think nothing. Just don't think about anything negative. Just get on the plane, make it to where I know how to make it to, and then make it out here back to the Matrix. Simple as that. So, with that being said, I hate to be short and everything, but this is pretty much my first episode, and I really don't have a lot to say as of right now. But or what I can tell you is I will try to do this podcast probably every Saturday. Every Saturday. The time, probably around, what is it, 6:10 now, 6:10 p.m. I'll probably just do it every day at like 5 p.m. Like not every day, but not every day, but every Sunday. Or every Saturday, at 5 p.m. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't gotten a lot of sleep, so my mind is all fucked up. And if I wasn't making sense in this podcast, I'm very sorry. But the next one, I'll be wide awake and I'll be making more sense then. But this is off the top of the dome, and that's not something I'm really good with. So I really hope you liked my podcast. And stay tuned for Saturday around 5 p.m. And I will be making another one. So hope you enjoyed. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, and subscribe. And peace. What's going on, y'all? I hope y'all enjoyed the podcast. And go to my next episode. Like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for the love. Peace.